That's right. Don't let hit win. Um, if you didn't already know, Hitler's a failed artist, and if you don't improve your craft, you may wind up like him, which is bad. So this is something I thought would be a little fun, and before I get into the more serious sort of art tutorials, I'm going to do short little art tips. Always be working towards being a better artist. And I thought I'd do a little challenge for myself. Um, this spans off of been binging a bunch of things. Jessica Jones is the newest show. I haven't seen the last three, but I already have a pretty good idea of where it's going to go. Uh, Sort of being one who crafts stories, you sort of see the insights before uh, they're they show up. So yeah, but I want to talk about a little bit about a couple of the shows. Ozarks, which is Jason Bateman, who not only stars in it, um, he's also the executive producer on the show, and he's either three or four. He's directed a bunch of the episodes, and it's really well done. It's really well written. I hope that there will be a second season. Definitely would love to see where it goes. Uh, that one wasn't as easy to figure out, but I definitely enjoyed the ride. Um, the, Let me backpedal a little bit. The reason sort of immersing myself is like I'm sort of putting myself through boot camp. If you didn't already realize, I've been penciling a lot more since the end of last year. Um, Finally, uh, got my inking tools, you know, up, cleaned up, and working, and been doing a lot more inking, and sort of plan in the planning stages of working on a bunch of comics, and yeah, just trying to up my skills, refresh my skills, um, and part of it is not only reading art books, but just reading a regular novel and reading comics. Just trying to squeeze in as as much information as possible. And I've been watching a lot of videos from people I don't know on YouTube because that's where I watch everything. Other artists, doing the same kind of stuff. And it's been very informative, and hopefully, what I dish out upcoming will be a lot more fun, maybe, informative, hopefully, and that sort of thing. So, yeah, let's see. There was a show. Now I'm going to forget the name of it. Yeah, I'm forgetting the name of it. It was a western. Um, I'll cheat. I'll cheat the sheet. Um, I got it on my laptop. No honor? No, not no honor. Um, anyway, it was a western. Mostly, is like different parts to it, as a lot of stories seem to go. Regardless of if there's a main character or not, there's always other characters and other little bits of story that add to the whole main story. Um, and there was a town that was go oops that was mostly females, and there was a woman and her boy who was outside of town on her own ranch. Um, and yeah, it was a mining town. Um, and I won't give any details away. Um, it's booting up. This is unplanned. Um, but it was a western, and actually one of the characters I love from Walking Dead is in it. This Denise was a character on Walking Dead, and she's in there. She's really good, and she's sort of one of the main characters. What's it called? What's it called? Oh, Godless. Godless. Because it has everything to do with the show, but not specifically. Anyway, when I think of gods, I think of gods. Anyway, um, yeah. So that was first season of a western, and really like that. Really, I guess it could keep going on and on, but yeah, there was a good a good show, and I saw they had a show Longmire. I'm not familiar with Longmire at all. I just downloaded the first season of that, and that's been pretty good. It's got Katie Sackhoff in it uh, a deputy to a sheriff. So she's not a main character. I always thought she should be a main character. I love her from Battlestar Galactica. Um, and yeah, she's good in that show. And I was wondering, why is there 6 seasons of this on Netflix? Why is this so popular, or why have they made so many seasons? Because there's running stuff on Netflix besides the Marvel universe stuff. Um, and I'll be getting into another one. What's that called? Bloodline, I think it's called. I've heard good things, but I have no clue what it's about. But I'll check it out. Anyway, Longmire is pretty good, and it is based on a series of books. So I think that's maybe part of the reason why um, it's it's long running. 6 seasons. That's like 6 years worth. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how. I'm just curious to watch it and watch all the seasons to see how it develops and how it may change or whatnot. Yeah, the focus on it is on this guy Longmire, who is the sheriff at the moment, and something with his wife, something uh, in the recent past, um, as is usually the case. Every show jumps on with something happened a year ago. A lot of the times. um, but yeah, did a bunch of movies and whatnot. But yeah, I'm interested in story and yeah, what I'm going to be doing going forward is working on a lot of art and working on a lot of comics. Um, all my own creations, and I thought I should um, up my skills a bit, or at least practice my skills. Um, and so what I did was It's over here. Everything's somewhere. Let's take a regular sheet of copy paper and made 9 squares and drew the following. So this is the first one up here. I'm pointing the wrong way. That's the right way. Um, and yeah, so each of these are I pretty much did them fast and wasn't trying to do finished drawings. It was just sketch out an idea of composition more than anything. And so here we go. Okay, so yeah, looking down is a tracker. You know, watching a lot of westerns lately is definitely what cowboys do, right? So he's tracking some animal. Um, got things at different distances. I thought that one was successful. This one is just a straight on shot. This is like, you know, some boss man. Uh, it's not highly effective, but actually, that the head on the left should have been bigger. Um, but essentially, you know, he's giving his boss some information. So I wanted to do some standard kind of shot. This one, hey, another cowboy with a cowboy hat. Um, the idea is that he's in some sort of warehouse, um, or maybe some funky Art Deco, because that the circle on the wall is kind of made to be some sort of weird window portal, and you know, it's dark in the factory. Looking down, which is, you know, I just made an arrow for myself to keep in mind what the hell I was drawing. He's got his gun out and he's searching around, and hopefully he doesn't find trouble, or otherwise, stay tuned. Um, yeah, this is the next one. This one also not highly successful, but he is a little, you know, he's not um, like we're looking down the sidewalk in the car, and you know, off in the little distance is a wall, a building of some sort and whatnot. And there's a guy in the street, just kind of holding a box above his head. You know, maybe he's selling fruit in the box or something. I don't know. One of the challenges is drawing people dimensionally, and I didn't really make too. You know, I could have graphed it a little bit, and you know, you make a long rectangle and you kind of fit the figure in it. I didn't do any of that, so it could have been more accurate, but it kind of, at least it's a scene and somewhat of a composition. Um, I want to, you know, realizing like in my comic work, and definitely like maybe in pinups, although it's, you know, pinups are different. It's kind of like you could do flat on stuff a lot of the times because people are more interested in seeing their favorite characters in all their glory, rather than putting them in sort of fight scenes where most of their costume is covered or blocked. Um, so it, you know, because I've been wanting to do maybe a sort of bigger piece, and since, you know, it's been how many years since the first Iron Man movie came out, um, and Avengers Infinity War. I keep saying Gauntlet, but it's Avengers Infinity War. Comes out in a couple months, and I want to have a pinup print possibly for that release. We'll see. I got too much going on. But I've been thinking about, like, do I do just standard flat straight on shots of all of them? Because I have a little bit of a twist that probably people won't be doing. Uh, and we'll see if anybody's interested. This one was a typical kitchen shot. Um, but it's like you can see in the cabinet, you can see looking down shot, but outside there's a water feeder with birds going after it, getting fed. Um, so that worked out. This one was, didn't really have a fleshed out idea, but it's some dude freaking out looking up, and he's got eyes behind his head because he's freaking out because where he's looking is completely not the right direction, but there's some sort of plane like Quinjet, possibly the Avengers Quinjet, coming through the skyline, and that would be bad. So that's why he's freaking out, because it's gonna hit him if he stands there. And this was, even though the character behind the one in front looks a little manly in face, it's a girl, and she's got her arm wrapped around her boyfriend, and they're holding hands, and not much to it other than that. But yeah, just this is all just practice, and it was it was kind of like just enough of a challenge to think of scenes, um, or situations, and um, this one is sort of looking uh, through a staircase. You get the not fence, but railing, and there's two people talking on like he's on the stairs and she's on the level, and there's the stairs going up blocking the way, sort of really makes the focus on them. So I thought that worked well. And this is the last one. It's just a girl in, possibly she splashed down like a comet onto the land, and made a crater. Her legs are really short. That was kind of just my fudge, but you get the idea. Her butt isn't in the hole, so her legs are definitely short. And yeah, so I thought, challenge myself to come up with ideas off the fly. Like, I don't think this took me too long, probably an hour, maybe, just to um, in some cases I started drawing one of the panels, just off the fly, and sort of wrapped an idea or around it. Some I thought of beforehand, and yeah, it's just a real challenge, and something I'll do again and again, just to keep sharp and come up with better scenarios and situations, and angles, and um, another one of the reasons why I wanted to mention binging and watching movies and TV shows is, really interested in how shots are set up and executed, and um, I'm interested in doing some storyboards, which is different than doing comic panels. Um, Not only because it would be challenging, but because it will. I wanna tell stories in different ways. Um, and something I was listening to one of the many videos earlier today, and um, now I forgot my point. um, oh, it's like, if I had a 9 to 5, and I have in the past, nothing of consequence since I started comics, which was back in 1991. If you didn't already realize, um, but I worked in mailrooms for multi-million dollar companies. I mentioned this plenty of times. Um, but yeah, uh, no matter who you're working for, it's more often than not they know for a fact you got a certain skill and they run with it. And um, as an employee, I remember a number of times like, well, you got me doing this and this and this, and I'm really good at it, and I should be doing it. But um, I'm pretty good at this other skill, and I want to explore that a little bit. And more often than not, they'll tell you no, or the only way you'll be able to get on trying out another skill is um, to get a job somewhere else where they're not so like forcing you into a square. And I was thinking, well, what if as my own employee, um, uh, I want to do comics, and I want to do art, pinups and prints and everything in that sort of avenue. But what if I want to explore something else? You know, I can do it. I can do it. And I mean, everything takes time and focus, and time is money and all that. But, you know, maybe by exploring a new skill, it might also open some doors to possible more streams of income. Which I've always said, like the way to make it as an artist is to have multiple streams. And so yeah, really, like, really thinking about my career and about business, and about making everything much better. So so that's what I achieved today, this way. Hope you like it. Hope you got something out of it. And please, let's see, become a patron if you haven't already. Um, I got all those guys and gals on my Patreon. Thank you very much. Um, so please, leave me a comment. Let me know what kind of art tips you're interested in seeing. I will, like I said earlier, be getting into a lot of serious tutorials. As you can tell, I've been sort of messing about um, with my movie program, and one one of the things specifically I want to storyboard is my opening. That's just sort of put there for the time being, but I do like the music bit I grabbed. So I'm gonna have some sort of visuals to go along with that. So this could be highly professional and one day. Love you all. See you again soon. Like I mentioned, in my other video that I'll be doing a lot more videos. I'm going to try to at least, I hate saying definitive things because I usually fail, but I'm going to try to do 3 videos a week until I really get rolling. So we'll see. We'll see if it goes that way. If I get more comments, I'll definitely be encouraged to. If I get more likes or more patrons. All right. See you again soon. Bye.